2:17 a.m. I was wide awake again, staring at the ceiling, my mind racing through everything I'd eaten that day. The salad for lunch, the grilled chicken for dinner, the half glass of wine I'd allowed myself. It should have been a good day, so why did I feel like such a failure? This had become my nightly ritual. Wake up sweating, lie there anxious, mentally beat myself up for not being able to control my own body. I was exhausted, not just physically, emotionally, spiritually. I was tired of fighting a battle I seemed destined to lose. At 53, I had spent more time thinking about food and weight than I had about anything else in my life, and I had nothing to show for it except shame and frustration. That night, something shifted. I grabbed my phone and started researching. Not diet tips, I'd read thousands of those. I searched for why weight loss stops working in menopause, and I fell down a rabbit hole that changed my life. I learned about the triple threat that hits women our age: insulin resistance that doubles fat storage, muscle loss that tanks metabolism, and cortisol spikes from disrupted sleep that keep us stuck. Suddenly, my 2 a.m. wake-ups weren't just an annoyance, they were a clue. My broken sleep was actually making weight loss nearly impossible. I learned that the solution wasn't trying harder, it was trying differently. It was understanding that my 50-year-old body needed a completely different approach than my 30-year-old body did. If you're lying awake at night wondering why nothing works anymore, I see you, and I promise, there's hope on the other side. Keep watching.
If your metabolism feels slow, if fasting isn't working the way it should, I need to tell you something that most weight loss experts completely ignore. The reason your metabolism has slowed down might have nothing to do with what you eat or how long you fast. It might have everything to do with what happens while you sleep. I spent 15 years as a sleep technician in a clinical sleep laboratory. I monitored thousands of patients through the night, watching their brain waves, their heart rates, their oxygen levels. And I saw something that changed my understanding of metabolism forever. The women who couldn't lose weight, the ones with the slowest metabolisms, were almost always the ones with disrupted sleep. Today, I'm going to share the science that connects sleep, fasting, and metabolism in ways that might completely change how you approach weight loss during menopause. I'll explain why your slow metabolism might actually be a sleep problem in disguise. And I'll show you how to fast in a way that works with your nighttime biology instead of against it. But first, let me tell you my own story, because it's probably going to sound familiar. At 52 years old, after spending 15 years helping other people sleep, menopause took my sleep away. The irony was almost unbearable. Here I was, the expert who knew everything about sleep disorders, lying awake at 3 a.m, unable to practice what I preached. The insomnia came on gradually, then all at once. First, it was occasional wakings. Then it was lying awake for hours. Then it was 3 months of sleeping less than 3 hours a night. I was exhausted in ways I didn't know were possible. And the weight came with it, 18 pounds in just weeks. My metabolism had completely shut down. I was barely eating, yet the scale kept climbing. My body had entered a state that I recognized from my clinical work, but had never experienced from the inside. Being a sleep specialist, I knew the research. I knew that sleep deprivation increased ghrelin, the hunger hormone, and decreased leptin, the satiety hormone. I knew that poor sleep caused insulin resistance. I knew all the mechanisms, but knowing and experiencing are very different things. I made the mistake many women make. I tried to solve my weight problem with fasting while ignoring my sleep problem. I would fast for 18 hours, barely sleep for 3 hours, and wonder why nothing was working. I was treating the symptom while ignoring the cause. It took me hitting complete bottom, exhausted, overweight, and finally admitting I needed help to figure out what was really going on. And what I learned changed everything. Here's the science that nobody talks about when they discuss fasting and metabolism, especially for women in menopause. Your body has what I call a night shift. Every night while you sleep, assuming you sleep properly, your body runs a complex metabolic program. growth hormone releases impulses, triggering fat breakdown and muscle repair. Cortisol drops to its lowest levels, allowing your body to exit stress mode. Insulin sensitivity improves, helping your cells process glucose more efficiently. This nighttime metabolic program is when a significant portion of your fat burning actually happens. Not during your morning workout, not during your fasting window, while you sleep. But here's the critical problem for menopausal women. When estrogen declines, sleep architecture changes dramatically. You spend less time in the deep sleep phases where growth hormone releases. You wake more frequently, interrupting the metabolic program. Your cortisol doesn't drop as low as it should. Research from the University of Chicago found that when sleep is restricted to 4 hours per night for just 4 days, insulin sensitivity decreases by 30%. 30% in 4 days. Your body becomes dramatically less efficient at processing energy, which means more fat storage and slower metabolism. This is why so many women tell me they're fasting perfectly, but their metabolism seems stuck. They're not actually fasting wrong. They're sleeping wrong, and no amount of fasting can compensate for broken sleep. But that's not even the most important part. And this is what I discovered during my recovery. Extended fasting, the kind everyone recommends, can actually make sleep problems worse for menopausal women. Long fasts trigger cortisol release. Elevated cortisol at the wrong time of day disrupts the circadian rhythm that governs both sleep and metabolism. You create a vicious cycle. Poor sleep leads to slow metabolism, which leads to longer fasting attempts, which leads to worse sleep. I watched this cycle destroy me for months before I understood what was happening. The solution isn't to fast harder, it's to fast smarter. To align your fasting with your circadian biology, to support the night shift your body is trying to run. Now, here's the challenge most women face. Even when they understand the sleep-metabolism connection, getting their body into proper nighttime fat-burning mode is difficult. Years of sleep disruption have dysregulated the hormonal patterns. The night shift has been corrupted. That's exactly why many women in our community have discovered a specific formula designed to support nighttime metabolism. It works without stimulants, so it doesn't disrupt sleep. It contains compounds that support the natural thermogenic processes that should happen during sleep. It essentially helps restore that corrupted night shift. Many women have told me it was the missing piece that finally made both their sleep and their weight loss work together. I'll leave a link in the pinned comment if you want to learn more about exactly how it works. But whether you try that or not, let me show you the science of fasting in a way that actually supports your metabolism and your sleep. Because this information alone can transform your results. The first principle is what I call circadian fasting. This is completely different from standard intermittent fasting. Standard fasting advice tells you to extend your fast as long as possible. 16 hours, 18 hours, 20 hours. For menopausal women with sleep issues, this is exactly wrong. Circadian fasting aligns your eating and fasting windows with your body's natural rhythms. Specifically, you want to eat during daylight hours and fast during darkness. Your metabolism is naturally more active and efficient during the day. Practically, this means a fasting window of about 12 to 14 hours, starting at dinner time and ending at breakfast. You finish eating by 7 p.m. and eat again around 8 a.m. Your fasting period overlaps with your sleeping period. This is how your body was designed to work. I know this sounds too simple compared to the extreme fasting protocols everyone promotes, but the research is clear. A study from the Salk Institute found that mice who ate only during a 12-hour window were significantly leaner and healthier than mice who ate the same calories spread throughout the day and night. Timing matters enormously. The second principle is what I call the sleep-metabolism connection. You cannot fix a slow metabolism without fixing your sleep. Here's a simple truth I learned from 15 years in sleep medicine. Every hour of sleep before midnight is worth more than every hour after. Your deepest, most restorative sleep happens in the first few hours of the night. This is when growth hormone peaks. This is when your night shift runs most efficiently. If you're going to bed at midnight or later, you're missing the most metabolically active sleep window. Even if you get 8 hours, it's not the same quality as 8 hours that start at 10 p.m. I recommend being in bed by 10 p.m., asleep by 10:30 at the latest. This isn't old-fashioned advice. This is circadian biology. This is how you restore the night shift that makes fasting actually work. The third principle is the evening shutdown protocol. What you do in the 2 hours before bed determines whether your night shift runs properly. After 7 p.m., avoid screens or use blue light blocking glasses. Blue light suppresses melatonin production and delays the onset of the restorative sleep phases where fat burning happens. After 7 p.m., avoid eating. Your last meal should be finished by this time. Eating late keeps insulin elevated and prevents your body from switching into nighttime fat-burning mode. After 8 p.m., begin dimming lights in your home. Bright lights signal daytime to your brain. Dim lights signal that the night shift is about to begin. By 9 p.m., start your wind-down routine. This might include a warm bath or shower, light stretching, reading a physical book, or meditation. Whatever calms your nervous system and prepares your body for sleep. I resisted these changes for months. I thought they were too restrictive. I liked watching television until midnight. I enjoyed late-night snacks. But when I finally implemented the evening shutdown protocol, my sleep transformed within 2 weeks. And with better sleep came better metabolism. The fourth principle is what I call the morning activation. This is how you properly end your overnight fast. When you wake, your cortisol naturally rises. This is called the cortisol awakening response, and it's healthy and normal. The problem comes when cortisol stays elevated or spikes too high. Breaking your fast with carbohydrates or sugar causes a blood sugar spike that triggers an insulin surge that triggers a cortisol response. You're starting your day in metabolic chaos. Instead, break your fast with protein and healthy fats. Eggs with avocado, Greek yogurt with nuts, a protein smoothie without added sugars. This provides stable energy that doesn't disrupt your hormonal rhythm. Equally important, get bright light exposure within 30 minutes of waking. Step outside, even briefly. This light exposure helps reset your circadian clock and ensures your body knows it's daytime. This simple act improves both daytime energy and nighttime sleep quality. The fifth principle is movement timing. This matters more than most people realize. Exercise is excellent for metabolism, but exercising at the wrong time can disrupt sleep and therefore slow metabolism. Intense exercise within 4 hours of bedtime raises core body temperature and cortisol levels, both of which interfere with sleep onset and sleep quality. The optimal time for more intense exercise is mid-morning or early afternoon. By evening, switch to gentle movement only. A slow walk after dinner actually helps digestion and supports the transition to nighttime metabolism. But anything that raises your heart rate significantly should be done earlier in the day. I used to do evening boot camp classes because that's when they fit my schedule. When I moved my workouts to morning and replaced evening exercise with gentle walks, my sleep improved dramatically. And with better sleep came better results from my fasting. The sixth principle involves understanding why slow metabolism is often actually a sleep problem. Let me explain the mechanism because it's important. When you don't sleep well, your body experiences it as stress. Stress triggers cortisol. Chronically elevated cortisol tells your body to hold on to fat, especially belly fat. Cortisol also decreases insulin sensitivity, making your cells resistant to glucose, which means more gets stored as fat. Additionally, poor sleep increases ghrelin, making you hungrier, and decreases leptin, making you less satisfied after eating. So you eat more while storing more. Your metabolism appears slow, but it's actually just responding appropriately to what it perceives as a threatening situation. This is why fasting while sleep-deprived doesn't work. You're adding the stress of food restriction to the stress of sleep deprivation. Your body doubles down on fat storage because it thinks survival is at stake. Fix the sleep first, then the fasting works. Now let me tell you about the mistakes I see women making that sabotage both their sleep and their metabolism. The first mistake is extending fasts while ignoring sleep quality. If you're sleeping poorly, longer fasts make everything worse. Shorter fasts combined with better sleep will always outperform longer fasts with broken sleep. The second mistake is eating or drinking stimulants in the afternoon. Caffeine has a half-life of 5 to 6 hours. That means half the caffeine from your 2 p.m. coffee is still in your system at 8 p.m., interfering with sleep. Cut off caffeine by noon at the latest. The third mistake is using sleeping pills to force sleep. Sleeping pills don't create natural sleep. They create unconsciousness. The sleep architecture under medication is different from natural sleep. The restorative phases are shortened or absent. Your night shift doesn't run properly. I took Zolpidem for 8 months, and my metabolism only got worse despite sleeping more hours. The fourth mistake is ignoring the bedroom environment. Your bedroom should be cool, around 65 to 68 degrees. It should be completely dark, no light from devices, windows covered. It should be quiet or use white noise to mask disruptions. Most people sleep in rooms that are too warm, too bright, and too noisy for optimal metabolic function. The fifth mistake is inconsistent sleep timing. Your body craves rhythm. Going to bed at 10 p.m. one night and midnight the next confuses your circadian system. Pick consistent sleep and wake times and stick to them, even on weekends. Your metabolism will thank you. Let me tell you about 2 women who transformed their results by addressing sleep alongside fasting. Nancy is 58. She had been fasting 18 hours a day for 2 years with minimal results. She was exhausted, frustrated, and gaining weight despite barely eating. Her metabolism seemed completely broken. When she learned about the sleep-metabolism connection, she made sleep her priority. She shortened her fasting window to 13 hours. She implemented the evening shutdown protocol. She went to bed by 10 p.m. consistently. Within the first month, her sleep improved dramatically. She was sleeping 7 hours straight instead of waking multiple times. By the second month, her weight finally started moving. By month 6, she had lost 22 pounds without extreme restriction. More importantly, she had energy again. She felt like herself for the first time in years. Then there's Michelle. She's 61 and had tried everything: extreme fasting, keto, low calorie. Nothing worked. She came to me convinced her metabolism was permanently broken. When I asked about her sleep, she admitted she hadn't slept well in 5 years. Hot flashes woke her multiple times per night. She was surviving on 4 to 5 hours of fragmented sleep. We focused on sleep first, cooling the bedroom aggressively, a specific bedtime routine, shortening rather than extending her fasts, supporting her nighttime metabolism with the right compounds. It took 3 months, but Michelle's sleep gradually restored, and as her sleep improved, her metabolism followed. She eventually lost 28 pounds, but she'll tell you the real victory was sleeping through the night again. Now, I want to be completely honest with you about something important. For many women, especially those with years of sleep disruption and metabolic damage, lifestyle changes alone take time. The body needs support to restore the night shift that has been corrupted by poor sleep and hormonal changes. That's why I mentioned earlier that nighttime formula. It provides compounds that support thermogenesis without stimulating the nervous system. It works with your sleep instead of against it. Many women use it alongside these strategies to accelerate their recovery. If you're curious, I'll leave a link in the pinned comment. It's not for everyone, and you can absolutely see results with just the lifestyle approach I've shared. But for those who want extra support, especially if your sleep has been disrupted for a long time, it's worth considering. Let me give you a simple plan to start this week. Days 1 through 3, focus on sleep timing. Aim to be in bed by 10 p.m. Notice what obstacles come up and address them. Days 4 through 7, implement the evening shutdown. No screens after 8 p.m. No eating after 7 p.m. Dim the lights. Create a wind-down routine. Week 2, adjust your fasting window to align with circadian rhythms. 12 to 14 hours, finishing dinner by 7 and eating breakfast around 8. Week 3. Optimize your bedroom environment. Make it cooler, darker, and quieter. Get morning light exposure within 30 minutes of waking. Week 4. Assess your progress. How is your sleep? How is your energy? Only then consider whether your metabolism is responding. Build gradually. Sleep takes time to improve. Metabolism follows sleep. Be patient. I know this is a lot of information, but if you take nothing else from today, remember this. Your slow metabolism might not be a metabolism problem at all. It might be a sleep problem. No amount of fasting can overcome chronically disrupted sleep. Your body burns fat at night, if you let it. The night shift your body runs while you sleep is more important than any workout or any fasting protocol. Fix the sleep, and the metabolism follows. I spent 15 years studying sleep in a laboratory. Then menopause took mine away. What I learned in getting it back changed my understanding of metabolism forever. It wasn't about eating less or fasting longer. It was about sleeping better. I'd love to hear from you. How is your sleep? Have you noticed a connection between sleep quality and weight? Drop a comment below and share your experience. I read every single one, and your story might help another woman who is exactly where you were. If this information opened your eyes to something new, please subscribe. I share research and practical strategies every week on the connection between sleep and metabolism. In my next video, I'll be revealing the specific bedroom changes that have the biggest impact on nighttime fat burning. The science is fascinating. What you drink before bed matters more than what you eat all day. How you sleep matters more than how you fast. Give your body the rest it needs, and it will give you the metabolism you want. Thank you for being here with me today. I'll see you in the next one.